Hello, Chosen. Welcome back to my channel. The purpose of this video is to bring clarity to those members of the elect who may be drawn to tarot and the meanings behind the imagery and energy, especially as they relate to your own personal spiritual awakening. I offer only one perspective, and tarot is open to as many interpretations as there are personal interactions. So I thank you for your time and attention in considering mine. I also encourage you to check out my introductory video to this series, which I will link in the description box below, as it may help explain why and how you find yourself sharing your company with me. Either way, I'm grateful for you, and I'll keep this as brief as possible, so let's begin. Here, I'll be talking about the Lovers, the Chariot, and Strength, numbered 6, 7, and 8. In the image of the Lovers, an angel is positioned before the sun, with his hands stretched over a nude man and woman. The man stands before the tree of life, and the woman in front of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. A serpent is twined around the tree, poised to whisper secrets into her ear, in a scene reminiscent of the story of Adam and Eve. The pair mirror each other's stances with palms out, ready to receive whatever direction and blessings the angel, as messenger of God, stands ready to bestow. What's interesting here is that the man looks to the woman, while her eyes are fixed on the angel. She is taking direction from the divine, and he is taking direction from her. The angel's facial expression is benevolent, and his posture is open and giving, which seems to suggest that instead of being cursed as in the original story, the woman is ordained with the spiritual knowledge that she shares with the man for him to bring to life or manifest. From it, he understands the 12 gifts of the Spirit, represented by the 12 leaves or flames on the tree behind him. She can be seen as the 7 gifts, and he the 12 fruits. It is thought turned to action, she giving, and he receiving to in turn give to others. First, this represents the melding of the divine feminine and divine masculine within yourself. It is a balancing of different but complementary rather than oppositional forces, meant to connect in a way that can only enhance the qualities of each. It is an energy of action and reaction, and more specifically, the relationship between the two. The Emperor teaches how to push, give, and act. The Empress, how to pull, receive, and react. The Lovers teach you the and of these forces, how to push and pull, give and receive, act and react. You also learn that each element is in its own way also the other. Pushing is pulling, giving is receiving, acting is reacting. It also touches on Newton's third law of motion. For every action in nature, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Besides the interplay of these energies, this is the blessing of a divine union, one that began in paradise and was meant to be shared and experienced in a human or earthbound way. Instead of being cast out of the garden for disobedience, you leave with the full blessing of the divine. In this way, it can also represent the contract or agreement that was made to experience your own divinity in a human or earthbound way, with the promise of a return at the end of your journey. Let the Lovers be an image of hope for the elect seeking a divine union, because here is the possibility of 3. First, a divine union within yourself, which is a restoration. Second, a divine union with the Most High, who never left you, but only waited for your return, which is a revival. Last, a divine mate with which to walk this new earth, which is a reward. A man is carried in a stone chariot under a canopy made of stars. On the face of the chariot is a lingam, a symbol of the joining of feminine and masculine energies. The sphinxes before it are drawn in their Greek and Egyptian forms. One is black and the other white, one male and one female, which reinforces the theme of duality and the balancing of energies. They are the guardians of royalty and of the answers found in the temple of the high priestess. The charioteer's garments and royal trappings are ripe with symbolism that are open to interpretation, but include a crown like that of the empress, armor like the emperor's, and the crescent moon present at the feet of the high priestess. In his right hand is a wand like the magician's. The relationship between masculine and feminine energies present in the lovers was represented by the lingam and sphinx. On his shoulders are the faces of the Urim and Tumim. They are a form of divination used by the high priest or hierophant, a way to seek the answers to the unknown and interpret the will of God. The chariot, then, teaches you to embrace your role as carrier of this knowledge, to embrace the freedom and self-assurance that comes from understanding your place as seeker, traveler, and conqueror. You have already begun to learn the lessons taught to you by the energies in their respective realms, and now you use them to move forward with your own determination to see yourself through to the next chapter. This makes the chariot the embodiment of willpower. It is having confidence in the vehicle or medium by which you are taking the journey, because you know the direction and channels in which you are being led to travel. You understand the tools of the magician and have been accepted by the priestess. You have become aware of the two energies present within you by the empress, emperor, and lovers, and understand the responsibility of your position on earth because of the hierophant. It is the energy of self-acceptance that comes from claiming your place and the value that you and your purpose hold within the ranks of the elect. The charioteer is beautiful and brilliant in all his finery, exhibiting the splendor of the energies he's encountered and in the growing awareness of his own gifts. He is an expression of how your gifts set you apart, but also illuminate you through science and the celestial, the spiritual and religious, and the mark left on the material. Now, the image is called the chariot, so the vehicle is as or even more important than the person in it. The charioteer doesn't actually steer the chariot. There are no reins and no horses. The left hand is curled loosely atop the chariot, and the other hand holds the magician's wand. The sphinx aren't winged and are relaxed before it, comfortably fixed in their position, which all points to the chariot being divine destiny and fate. It is the movement of the universe and how that specifically manifests in your life. It is what propels you through each stage of this journey and onward to your waiting fate. It is the distant voice that called the fool to the cliff's edge, the one he couldn't identify but followed anyway. The chariot is the result of aligning your formidable willpower with that of divine will as a way to meet your destiny. A woman with a garland in her hair and a flower chain around her waist bends down to the lion next to her, holding it with hands dangerously close to its mouth. There is no sense of danger or apprehension on her face. In fact, her expression is serene, and her touch is easy and familiar. The lion looks up at her with something like devotion, eyes fixed on her as his tongue hangs out of his open mouth. He stands almost playfully, and his tail is tucked underneath him, as if to further show a sense of submission. Here you are taught strength without force, making it a symbol for inner strength, quiet strength. It is how to be strong and elicit submission without domination, but rather collaboration. This makes it an energy of transmutation, the action or state of being changed into another form. It is also the ability to be malleable or vulnerable enough to accept this change and work with it so that anger is turned to passion or pain turned to purpose. In this, she teaches you to acknowledge and address oppositional forces, how to work with light and dark to create and then operate within shadow. In this way, you bring order to chaos. Strength then becomes complete control and the discipline needed to do so. It is also the way the divine will is meant to be felt. It is not oppression or suppression, but integration, an easing of the burden that comes from believing that this walk is taken alone. It is therefore an energy of surrender, but a surrender that brings solace and reassurance. On this journey of awakening, courage is vital to confront all that will be faced, but this is different from that, because despite our best efforts, courage can fail. The infinity symbol above her head shows that this strength is acquired and its reserves will never be depleted because its source is divine and therefore eternal. It is a strength that endures. If the information you find in this video is helpful or interesting, please like, share, and subscribe. I'd like to know how many I can count as members of my tribe, and you can help me reach as many people as possible that could benefit from the message. We'll speak again soon, so bye for now.